Ant-Man and the Wasp: QUANTUMANIA is a movie that I have already watched twice. Now, is it because I thought it was so good, or is there another reason? Hey guys, welcome to Marcus Loves Movies. My name is Marcus Lee, and welcome to my Ant-Man and the Wasp: QUANTUMANIA movie review. MCU Phase 5 starts right here with this movie, and I'm going to talk about it with you today. Now, just before I give you a quick plot outline, can I ask you a quick favour? If you like movie reviews like this one, if you like trailer reactions, if you like film discussion, please support the channel, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate your support. Ant-Man and the Wasp find themselves exploring the quantum realm, interacting with strange new creatures and embarking on an adventure that pushes them beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. Now, like I said at the start of this video, I've already seen QUANTUMANIA twice in the space of 48 hours. Now, it's very rare that I do that. This is the second film that I've seen twice this year. The first one was Megan. I watched that twice because I watched it in the cinema solo. Then I had to watch it again with my missus because she thought it might be a little bit scary, so we watched it again together. And now I've seen QUANTUMANIA twice. But my reasons for seeing QUANTUMANIA twice, the reasons aren't good. The reason is because the first time I watched it, I fell asleep. Now, there are several reasons why you might fall asleep in the cinema. One reason is if you're getting a little bit older, like me, if you're a dad and you get some alone time and you get to sit in a nice comfy chair for a couple of hours, there's a chance that you might fall asleep. Now, one could argue that the film should be very engaging and shouldn't allow you to fall asleep, which leads me on to the second reason, which is sometimes the film is boring and doesn't keep you entertained and you lose interest and fall asleep. And then there's a third reason, which is what I think happened in my case, which is I was ill. I wasn't well. I woke up that day with a cold, a bit of man flu, which we know is the most serious flu of all the flus. And early in the day, I'd also fallen asleep whilst being sat on the sofa, and I made the choice to go to the cinema that night and watch QUANTUMANIA. And it was probably a bad idea because yet again, I fell asleep while sat in the cinema. And when I fall asleep during a movie, because it does happen, I tend to lean towards thinking, that movie wasn't good. It lost my interest. I was bored and I fell asleep, and I blame it on the movie not being good enough. And whilst I was watching QUANTUMANIA, there were moments when I closed my eyes and then I opened them again and I thought, I'm not sure how much time has passed here. I'm not sure how much I have missed in terms of what's happening on screen. And to be fair to this film, I need to watch it again so that I can make a fair assessment. After I watched the film the first time and I left the cinema, my general feeling was, yeah, that film was okay. When I watched the film for the second time around, I realised there were 30 to 40 minutes of important information and details that I had missed the first time around. But after I watched it for the second time, my general feeling was still, that film was okay. It's CGI Overload, it is CGI on steroids. I bet the visual effects team had an absolute blast thinking, let's see how many strange and weird and wonderful and wacky characters and aliens we can come up with, and let's put them all out there on the screen. I was talking to a friend who also watched this movie. He didn't fall asleep during the film, he stayed awake, and he said it felt very much like a 90s movie. And I thought, yeah, I really agree with you. It feels like a Star Wars movie. If you think of movies like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, early noughties, you think about those films, it feels very much like that. And if this film had been released back then, 20 years ago, I think I would have felt a lot more impressed. It would have been very, very special. But maybe we live in an age now where we're so used to CGI and we're spoiled by it that we need more than great graphics to keep us entertained. In terms of the performances, Paul Rudd is always likable. Me personally, I really enjoy watching Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas in these roles in a superhero sci-fi movie. I mean, Michael Douglas, he must either really like the material or he's just laughing all the way to the bank having collected a massive paycheck. I mean, who would have thought that Mr. Wall Street years later would end up in a movie where he's driving a spaceship by sticking his hands through plastic jelly tubes? Who would have thought it? But the best performance comes from Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang, the new big bad for MCU Phase 5. He steals the show. He's the best thing about this film. I actually would have enjoyed a film that was just about him, but we'll get to see more of him because he is the new big villain. Plot-wise, it reminded me of Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where our characters get sucked into this alternate universe and they've got to find a way home, and there's also a rescue mission. I do think the multiverse is a cool idea. It gives you lots of possibilities for what could happen next, but it also means there's no real sense of peril, because if something bad happens to a character in this multiverse, if someone dies in this multiverse, the filmmakers can just go somewhere else and think, it's okay, we'll pick up the story in a different multiverse. So if a character dies now, it's not forever, we can just pick it up somewhere else. And I don't like that. So with this film marking the launch of Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we should all be really excited about the future. But if I'm being really honest, I'm not sure if the excitement is still there, and I think the multiverse is killing my excitement because there is no more sense of peril or danger anymore. If a character dies in that multiverse, they'll be alive somewhere else. And all we're going to see now are lots and lots and lots of MCU films that are about this multiverse. And that just doesn't excite me. And unfortunately, this movie didn't excite me as much as I hoped it would. As a standalone film, and I know these aren't really standalone films because they're all part of a bigger picture, but as a film, it was decent. It had a beginning, a middle, an end. It had some adventure, it had our good guys, our baddies, a really good antagonist, and it was all right for what it was. But the joy that I had going back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or even back to the first Ant-Man film, that excitement just isn't there. But you know what? We're going to keep watching because we do like Marvel movies. We're always willing to give them a chance, and we'll just see what happens next. So my official Marcus Loves Movies rating for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is, mini drum roll, 3 stars. So that's what I thought of the film, but as always, I would love to know what you thought about it as well. If you stuck with me this long, up until this point in the video, can I say thank you and apologies for my voice. Like I say, I'm fighting this man flu. It's really, really hard. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought. And also, if you could do me a quick favor, give this video a like, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And like I said right at the beginning, if you do like movie reviews and trailer reactions and film discussion, please subscribe to the channel. Please give me your support. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching my Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania movie review. Gosh, that is a mouthful. Please stay tuned for the next video that I release, and I will catch up with you again soon. So until then, take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.